Y'all want to know something crazy? I've been my biggest op. Me, like, I've been my biggest op. And as an overthinker, it's almost something that I'm constantly like doing. I'm just constantly getting in my own way. I'm always like destroying situations before they happen because I'm always thinking of the worst. I'm always getting in my own way. I'm stepping in front of myself before I can speak to that person, before I can take advantage of this opportunity, before I can literally change my whole life around, I step in front of myself. And y'all know that like if you've seen Black Panther, there's kind of like this inside joke in the movie where, Black Panther's like, I never freeze, I never freeze. I freeze all the time. It's like I feel like I can barely talk to people because I'm always thinking of like the conversation turning awkward or the conversation turning really stale or just coming across as like mean or like just unpleasant. It's and instead of literally saying anything other than hi, how are you, like I'm just ready to end the conversation. It's like if it's not the generally I don't like small talk, I will say, but there's nothing wrong with interacting with people, keeping it cordial. But for me, it's like even that I just make it such a big deal that I'd rather just not say anything and keep it pushing. And there's so many people that I've missed out on because I simply didn't allow myself to have conversations with them. There's so many things I've missed out on because I simply did not allow myself to be open to it. And it's just crazy. It's crazy. Like I've become my biggest op. If you grew up watching Justice League, Disney, Marvel, whatever it is, where there's a good guy, there's also going to be a bad guy. You're taught from a young age that the villain is always some type of external force that needs to be dealt with. The good guys assemble, they get together and they tackle the villain. The prince and the princess, they tackle the villain. But what happens when like you're the well not maybe not the villain, but when you're the problem? What if you're the one blocking your own success? There's nobody who's trapped you in a tower. There's nobody who's thrown you in a cell. There's nobody who's doing anything to you. I've had nobody to blame but myself. And this is something I've been thinking about for a long time. Yeah, thinking. Um, it's something I've known about myself for a while, but it's just something that I'm fully committing to addressing and getting past. I'm just tired of only consuming content, but I want to be a part of it. I want to be able to have some sort of, I hate to say, maybe not legacy, but having just something I can look back on and be like, you know what, maybe that didn't do that well, but I did it. And I know there's other people who aren't doing it. I do feel that God has allowed me to have a very introspective, self reflective spirit. I feel like I've always been aware of how people move, of myself, how to be, self conscious, but I've let the devil get in the way and distract me. And I have completely stopped in my tracks. Like, I've had some wins. I've had some achievements like 2024 and 2025. There was something really cool that I was able to be a part of, and I'm really glad that I did it. But I'm wanting to do more. It's time for me to start doing more because I feel like I'm meant to do more. God has more in store for me in my life. And for my fellow Christians, I feel like, or even anybody who's watching, there's things that we feel we're meant to do, but we have people telling us that we shouldn't be doing. Not only do we have people telling us that we shouldn't be doing it, but we're in our heads thinking of all the worst scenarios possible. "Ooh, I don't want to talk to that girl or boy because they're going to laugh in my face. They're going to point and laugh in my face. They're going to reject me. I don't want to ask my boss about a promotion because he might think I'm kissing up, or he might be more inclined to give it to this person. I don't want to take my driver's test," whatever it may be. Like, just so many things where we tell ourselves, or at least all the overthinkers, we tell ourselves like, this is going to happen, this could happen, just all the worst. But it's like you really have to learn to flip that around and think about, or what I've learned is you really have to flip that around and think of like the best, like literally the opposite of the worst is the best. What are the best things that could come after I actually take action in doing whatever I'm meant to do. Like I said, from a young age, it's like we're taught that there's an external force that we need to take care of, and we hardly have those moments where we have to look inside and, quoting Lion King, like, we have to remember like who we are and what we were meant to do. I a few years ago, it's crazy that I've had this channel for so long. I'm sure when if you guys click on my page, you'll probably see cobwebs and stuff like that. But a few years ago, there was a person who commented on one of my videos, like, "What is the theme of your channel? What is your channel about?" And I had to think about it. Once again, I had to think about it, and it led to overthinking. I kind of panicked because I was like, man, that based on this person's comment, I'm sure there's other people that are, thinking that, man, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. He's all over the place. I'm not sticking around to just hear this person yap. But I didn't take into account that there were people who were watching that who actually were enjoying my takes on things. There were people who were actually watching who did enjoy the perspective I brought, that I was doing something different. And first of all, like, thank you for the people who have stuck around. Thank you for the people who have sent, some messages, some kind messages, or just the people like wondering where I am. And I'm still here. Just I was busy overthinking. I was busy just being in my head about every single thing, and it's just time for me to move on. It's time for me to just do better, be better, and just I want to show people that you can get past your thoughts. You can take a risk. You can do things. You can move towards those goals that you have. You can move towards your purpose. And not to say YouTube is like my full purpose, but I think it's something that can get me to where I want to get to, and I'm fully committed to doing that. I'm fully committed to being on YouTube, just talking about stuff that I'm interested in. And yeah, you guys have probably noticed I changed my channel name. For those of you who might be new, you probably don't know a thing, but it used to be different. If you know, you know. But I changed it to Miles is Mine because I want my channel to be a reflection of my thoughts and my takes on things, and I want it to still be conversational. I still want to have conversations. I want to get new perspectives. So I do want to talk about a variety of things. It might not always be something that you guys are like passionate about, but I feel like if people can get that I'm passionate about it, that maybe they'll stick around, maybe they'll be interested, they'll get a perspective that they haven't received before. And I'm hoping as I continue this, I just get better and better. I'm just feeling so different. I just feel more inspired to just make a fresh start, to actually make a true effort, and to really get back on YouTube. I have so many creators that I watch on a daily basis, and there's a lot of them that I look up to, but this sounds so cringy, but I kind of want to be that person that people can look up to. People can come to my channel and know that my intention is to help and to have a conversation, and to just be a person that you can go to if things aren't perfect in your life, or nobody's life is perfect, but maybe things aren't going well. Just having some sort of relationship. But yeah, I wanted to. I knew I've wanted to do YouTube, but I got in my own way. I just got distracted, and I ended up being stagnant. I ended up staying stagnant, and this is me trying to course correct. I think it's time. Um, these are just some things that have been on my mind. Been thinking about this. Been thinking about all these things for a while now. But for anyone who might still be watching, and if you happen to be an overthinker, that's good to be thoughtful, but don't let it keep you in the same place. Don't keep yourself frozen and stagnant. Never freeze. Like they say in Black Panther, R.I.P. to Chadwick Boseman. But yeah, I'm just ready to do this. So like I said, these are the things that have been on my mind. I'll see you guys another time.